Hello and welcome from FM Systems. In today's presentation, we're going to discuss the Real Estate and Portfolio Management module provided within the FM Interact IWMS software suite. So let's get started. Having logged into FM Interact, I can see from the left side navigation that I have access to the Real Estate module. So let's go ahead and select that. Then we're going to select Views and then Lease Agreements. Inside our Lease Agreements view, we have our main grid view area. From this grid view area, we can set up different color coding based on data queries that we define. We can also define what fields are going to display in our grid view header area. From here, we're going to select a lease, and from the lease details below, we can see information about that lease, including links to the floor plans, the start and end date for the lease, a brief description, the leased area, and other pertinent information. We also have multiple tabs along the top of the info view. So let's go ahead and choose Financial. Under the Financial tab, we can see our annual cost per square footage. This is based on the rent schedule that is defined within the system. Next, we'll choose Terms, and within Terms, we can see some of our term agreements. Following Terms, we'll go ahead and choose Expenses, where we can see that we have multi-add capability for different lease transactions. Here is an example of an energy transaction, and we can add as many more as we would like. Next up is our options. These would include the renewals, the break options, and the expansions. Following that is our contacts. Contacts is a way to be able to manage any important personnel that needs to be associated with the lease. This could include landlord information, sublease information, as well as any other contacts that you feel necessary. Following that is our Critical Dates tab. Inside Critical Dates, we see a number of different break options, renewals, the lease end date. These will occur automatically and be populated by the system as the dates are entered by a user. These dates can also serve as flags for notifications. The notification engine within FM Interact allows you to be able to set up date notifications which can occur at multiple time frames. So if you need to be notified 6 months out, 4 months out, 3, 2, 1, and then several days before that critical date arrives, you can set up notifications to occur as many times as you would like. Next, we have documentation. Again, we have our multi-add form where we can go in and add multiple documents within the system. Simply choose the document and open it, and now you have it available to you. Finally, we have our Amendments tab. And again, our multi-add form allows us to include as many amendments as is necessary to this particular lease. Keep in mind the configurability of the lease management module allows us to be able to go in and add additional tabs and additional fields as is necessary for your business rules. Also from the grid, we have the ability to do queries. We can set up our own queries based on the different fields that are displayed in the view. We can also set up various filters and be able to filter our view as necessary. So if I decide a threshold of $25 in my cost per square foot field and I want to see everything greater than $25, I can now do that using the filter and be able to filter out only those leases that match that criteria. From here, I can export my results into a PDF, a Word doc, or into Excel as an XLS or a CSV file. From here, we can manage property information and be able to see the details about our properties, including buildings, land, contact information, and some of our performance metrics, like cost per square foot, churn rate, and vacancy rate. Inside of our land information, we can track parcels, be able to select that and choose information about the land that is important, as well as financial information. And then finally, we'll go into our buildings view. Inside the buildings view, we can select one of our buildings, and notice again we have multiple tabs of information. We have information about the building itself on the first tab. Also, our financial tab is going to show information for any associated lease agreements, building budgets using defined account categories, building expenses, as well as a cost summary of various costs that may be incurred for your particular building. This could include taxes, rent, insurance, housekeeping, utilities, etc. Again, you get to define what you want to be able to track within these tabs. We also have a life cycle tab, as well as building documentation. Let's now go into reports. And within reporting, we can choose from a lease abstract, which shows us a summary of our main lease information. We can also choose from any other canned reports that we provide within the system. FM Systems provides a number of canned reports as well as data views, along with the configurable implementation based on customer needs for the real estate and portfolio management module. Now let's talk about our portfolio analytics. Inside of our portfolio analytics contains a number of different reports designed to give you information about your portfolio. The total portfolio by building size allows us to see our entire portfolio based on the square footage values of each location. If we click on the total portfolio by building cost, now we see the associated costs as we assigned earlier to those specific buildings. Selecting one of the bars within the chart allows us to see the detailed information inside that particular report. Now let's talk about historical portfolio costs. Within this report, we see a line graph that is letting us know our planned versus actual costs. Selecting one of the lines allows us to be able to see a value from year to year whether or not those actual costs exceeded our planned costs. We'll follow that up with the building cost metrics and be able to see our total planned portfolio cost divided by square foot, seat, and per person. Now we'll choose occupancy rate, and within occupancy rate we can see both the rate by the building as well as the planned portfolio cost per square footage. Notice the threshold on building 502 is our most expensive building in terms of cost per square footage. But over here on the left-hand side, it is our least occupied location. This lets us know if this is a leased facility, we'll want to be looking at getting out of that lease as soon as possible. Finally, we'll look at our total planned portfolio future costs. This chart gives us the example of each cost year by year. That concludes our presentation on the real estate and portfolio management module. We hope this has been beneficial for you. Thank you and have a wonderful day.